Here's a picture I drew of Sanji and thought that he would be really good to put in this particular chapter because he's obviously coming to the rescue of the Straw Hats. So if you enjoy this and more things like it, remember to follow me on all the social networks.
One Piece, Chapter 174, Mr. Prince.
Well, hello, my brothers and sisters of the Nerd Nation. I, as always, am Jim, here to bring you another review on the awesome and long-running tale of One Piece. Our last chapter saw us, of course, with the end, the end of it really just being kind of cool. The snail phone ringing, Miss All Sunday and Crocodile answering, and of course finding out that it's Restaurant Le Crap, Sanji on the other end. So this chapter actually is entitled. It leaves off, of course, it begins right where the other one left off. Yeah, so as most of the time they do, but sometimes it takes you in a different direction. So I always like to say that. So. This one is actually entitled Mr. Prince, and I think this is great, really, because the way everything is woven and put together is really spectacular. Now, first off, we wind up getting, so we get a little bit of talking going on the phone, and we see, Crocodile almost immediately make the connection, to hey, I know that voice, and he thinks back to when he spoke to, of course, Sanji, we know, on Little Garden, thinking it was Mr. 3. And then even when Mr. 3 had shown up, a couple of chapters ago and said, no, that wasn't me. I would never use a snail phone. So he's putting two and two together, but then he's going, you know what? I thought I had all the Straw Hat pirates. And this is where some of Oda's genius comes into play. If you remember about 8 or 10, 20, whatever chapters ago, when Mr. 2 Bon Clay wound up running into the Straw Hats on the way to Nanohana, he wound up meeting all the Straw Hats except for Sanji. Sanji was down below decks cooking or something like that. So when he went and kind of conjured up and made the images of everybody he saw on the ship, it was everybody minus Sanji. So, and then of course they assumed that Chopper was just a pet or something like that. So, really, really cool how things are woven together and how you can see even the smallest, most minute detail that doesn't really seem to affect anything at the time winds up being they had no idea that there was another Straw Hat. They thought they had all of them, And like I said, that was me missing too, that Sanji wasn't in the cage with him. And I really should have picked up on that over the last few chapters, but it was just the last chapter or the one before that it kind of hit me. So this one's really cool. We wind up getting, Vivi, of course, has been trying to dodge this banana gator over here. Croc's on the phone talking to him, and he's like, so who are you? And he's like, Mr. Prince. He's like, okay, Mr. Prince, why don't you tell me where you are? And he's like, no, because if I tell you where you are, you're going to kill me. And then Sanji, right? And here's where the big balls come in, you know what I mean? Just that whole, the pride thing, that him and Zoro and Luffy all have, right? Usopp's not afraid to say, hey, listen, man, I'm scared shitless. I just shit my pants. I got to leave, right? But Sanji's never going to give in and say anybody's better than him. So he says, yeah, otherwise you'll come kill me. And then he's like, well, actually, that one's debatable, but I'm not going to tell you where I am anyway. So he basically says in one breath, like, yeah, I'm not going to tell you because you'll kill me. And then he's like, in the next breath, he's like, yeah, but no, actually, I don't think you can. So I really thought that was cool. And really, it's just kind of neat to see him kind of toying with Crocodile. So then we also go and wind up hearing in the background then from Sanji some kind of commotion, and it sounds like, oh, we found him or we got to him or whatever. And then, of course, the line winds up going dead after that. And so, Crocodile is thinking that, the millions or whoever it was, have captured Sanji or what have you. So, and then he goes and he winds up hearing that there's some commotion up at the front of the casino, and he's going to go check it out. And Miss All Sunday's like, hey, yeah, you sure you want to do that? You're not like known to everybody yet. And he's like, no, I'm going to go as Sir Crocodile, just like the proprietor and the owner of the casino that's going to see what this commotion's all about, right? So before he goes to leave, he goes and he's just an underhanded, just shit stick that he is, man. I tell you, a real dick with eyes. But so Captain Hook over here, the Sandman, goes and winds up, he sees Vivi, and Vivi doesn't want to give up, and she's thinking like in her mind, because while this is all going on, of course, the Straw Hats are like, wow, Sanji, this is great, and they're trying not to say his name. They don't want to let on in case, they don't know about him yet, which we know that they didn't at this point. And even Vivi's thinking to herself, oh yeah, that's right, Sanji and Chopper are still out there running around. So she goes and she's thinking, I can go get help, right? I can, if there's hope. I can't take these things out by myself to get this key back, but there's hope if Sanji and Chopper are out there. I'm going to go get them. So as she's going going to do this. Like I said, Mr. Dick with Eyes over there, Crocodile, goes in and goes and does a little sand move and makes his hook come off, and the sand propels it forward, whatever, which is kind of a cool move, I gotta admit. But he goes and he just nails Vivi, First he grabs her and kind of chokes her out, and then just slams her down the ground, and she's she's laying there bloodied and broken and apparently unconscious, or so it seems. So then he goes and he's going to go take off and see what the commotion's all about, and they're finally going to go and leave. And he knows, of course, that the whole room itself is going to sink pretty soon because of this being built over a lake. And now, of course, from the banana gator coming up and in and crashing, it's basically the water's going to come rushing in anyway. It was going to sink sooner or later because of what he had done, but now it's just going to happen even quicker because of the banana gator. So then we wind up going and we see it, and it looks like right as the banana gator, and so they leave, and right as the banana gator is about to go and nail Vivi. Vivi winds up, moving. She winds up getting up. Well, she winds up getting up and starting to kind of crawl towards the exit anyway. And she's like, I'm not going to let them down. They saved me, and they've been there for me, my friends. And just kind of a real, push hard moment, dig deep, that sort of thing, Always try, even in the face of certain doom. Don't ever give up, that sort of thing. And she's going, everybody's kind of trying to cheer her on. And then the gator winds up coming at her and almost nailing her again. A couple of times, almost nails her. And the gator winds up, kind of busting through some of the concrete in the wall or the floor. And whatever it winds up being, the more water's rushing in. And I think it's Nami that says, yeah, this room's going to be underwater in less than 20 minutes now, So that hour has gone down very quickly now. And the time's been sped up because of what's happened. So Vivi winds up going, and she kind of goes and is able to get up, dodge this gator a couple of times to get up to the top of these stairs. And they're like, oh, cool. So now at least there's some hope, she can go find help. So she goes and she, we presume, leaves to go through the casino to go find help. We then go and we see Crocodile and Miss All Sunday, walking through the casino, and everybody's like, oh, Sir Crocodile, oh, we love you, and all this other stuff. And then, Miss All Sunday's like, yeah, they really do love you, right? You've really got them fooled. So the assistant manager of the casino comes up and tells him about all the commotion, and and he says, oh yeah, I heard about the rebellion in Nanohana, and he's like, no, the whole country is up in arms, everybody's going crazy, right? Rioting everywhere, everybody's turned against the king. And then Crocodile says something about that. Well, that's because the king, it's because his plan all fell in place, but he's still trying to play the nice guy over here, and be like, oh, that's just because the king doesn't know how to, doesn't know how to protect his country and do, whatever, and to be a good king for his country and what have you. So as they're going and they walk out, they go across the little bridge outside the Rain Dinners Casino, which looks like a giant pyramid with a gator on the top of it. And of course, it's surrounded by this lake. It's actually built on this lake. And they go across there, and then he goes and he's like, "What the hell?" And he sees all these bodies everywhere, and he's like, "All the millions have been defeated." I knew some of them had been taken out by Pell, by the Falcon or whatever, because Miss All Sunday had obviously communicated that to him. But what the hell, So he talks to one of them, and one of them's like, "Oh, he just called himself Mr. Prince." And he's like, he's like, what? And now Crocodile is like offended. He's pissed off, because now somebody's toying with him. And he's like, what? Where is he? And he goes, he headed towards the south side of town, just now or just a minute ago. He's like, oh, just now? That must be him over there, And he's going, he sees like a crowd of people or whatever, and is going to go towards them. And Miss All Sunday's like, dude, just don't worry about it. It's no big deal. And he's just like, no, because this is like a matter of honor. He tried to screw with me, and now he's toying with me. That's it. He's done, So Crocodile goes, and he's getting mad, He's bulking up and going out to kick somebody's ass. So then we go and we wind up seeing from the actual casino itself and whatnot, because it's starting to sink into the lake, at least this is what I presume, the bridge to it crumbles, And right as Vivi's kind of, going and she's looking outside, because now she's, of course, made it back into the casino, and she's about to go outside and hopefully go get help. And she's like, oh, no, the bridge crumbled and this and that, and no, I can't go to get help. And then all of a sudden we go and we see this figure over there, right, with glasses on, just kind of sitting, chilling, and we see the back of its head, and the word bubble comes out, and it's just like, well, yeah, the bridge is crumbled, so so no one can get out, but that also means that the broke works agents can't get in, and he's like, and then you go and you see that it's Sanji, and he's just got this slick smile, he's got this glasses on and whatnot, so he's obviously pulling a ruse, right, pulling an okey doke on Croc. So, and Vivi's overjoyed, she's like, oh man, you're saving my ass now. So she's like, oh my God, Sanji, and he goes, and the chapter ends with him going and saying, hey, listen, we don't got much time. Chopper's, off pulling a wild goose chase over here. Basically, she's diverting the attention towards himself and keeping Croc away from it. Let's go and figure this out and let's rescue everybody else. So definitely Mr. Prince to the rescue for the win, whatever you want to say. He has come in and he is saving the day. So definitely, I think really, really cool, sort of thing over there. So, the chapter question that I have, and this one is really just kind of a one more or less for you brothers and sisters of the nation. Over the last couple of weeks, we've had certainly a bunch of new people come on board, new brothers and sisters that have joined the nation, that are watching the videos, things like that, which obviously we're grateful for and appreciate. But if you could comment down below when you actually joined on, you know what I mean, where I was at in the channel. I mean, I know some of you that are regular commenters and that, we've gone back and forth and talked. I kind of know that, you got on very early, some maybe just a couple of weeks ago. But just comment, and if you want to comment like what chapter I was on, or maybe what arc, maybe what story arc I was working on, and that's when you discovered or found, how you found my channel. So, yeah, so if you could leave that answer to that question in the comments down below, I'd be grateful. Feel free to hit the thumbs up, the like button if you think that I deserve it, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. We will look forward to catching you in the next one, nation.
Say, I think you should subscribe there, Sonny. Watch all the videos you can, and certainly like them, share them, and just be part of the nation. See?
Is it just me or is this motherfucker crazy?